Hello everyone, thank you for joining a new live webinar hosted by the Huawei Enterprise Support Community. I just want to thank you for joining today's session. This session will be about Huawei Fusion Module 800. Our presenter today is Mohmmad Kasim. It's not the first time he's presenting. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for hosting a new live webinar for our community. The past webinars have been very successful, and if you've missed the past sessions, I can share the links in the chat box if you're interested. So thank you for hosting today. Thank you for joining. And as I said before, we will also have a Q&A session. We will choose 10 winners, five participants who are attending the live session, and also 5 participants who join the Q&A session in the forum by replying the 3 questions we will present at the end of this webinar. I will gladly share the links to the previous webinars, and I will just let you, Mohammed, take over now and start the presentation. If you guys have any questions, please use the chat box to type them in. And thank you again for being here. I will not interrupt anymore. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Elena, for this the opening speech. I think let me introduce myself first to the people who are new for me. My name is Kasim, and I'm part of EBG India, Huawei. Totally, I have 18 years of experience and totally cover 10 years experience in Huawei. Before Huawei, I worked for other organizations like GE, Genpact, and HP. From the technical certification point of view, I have completed the expert level certification in storage domain, cloud computing domain, and also I'm completing the data center domain as well. From the cross-platform technologies, I am certified on Microsoft and VMware and Semantic platform as well. And from management training point of view, I have PMP certifications and the ITL certifications as well. Today's webinar is focused on the Fusion Module 800, that is the data center product family. Before that, I already presented the 2 sessions. One is on the Fusion Cube solution from Huawei. The another one was the 3DC architecture. We can say the storage 3DC star-yard topology that I covered. So if you missed that session, maybe you can check on the YouTube sessions, and you can look into this 2 knowledge sharing sessions.
Yes, I just want to mention that I've shared the links to the previous sessions here in the chat box. So if you are interested in watching them, you can see the links here. You can find the links in the chat box.
Okay, good. So let's continue. So in today's session, as the topic mentioned, that we will be having the knowledge sharing about Huawei Fusion Module, which is the data center product family, and we will be able to understand what is the Fusion Module as a product and the solution from Huawei. Also, we'll touch base on the planning and design aspect of delivery point of view, and the operations and management point of view. Also, will cover some point how to operate this as a complication in the data center. Many components are there. How easy to operate and manage the Fusion Module. Also, we have included the architecture level understanding of how many components are associated, how they are integrated on the network level, and there will be a question answer session, as Elena already mentioned, and in the forum also you can have the question answer session after this live webinar. Okay, so this is our coverage. We will be having a little understanding what is the position of this data center, how it has been important role in the IT era and the cloud era. We'll touch base little part on Huawei introduction because many people from joining us from globally. So what is Huawei as an organization? And we'll also touch base on the architect level for the data center, modular data center, and the O&M best practices point of view. Okay, let's start with the Huawei at a glance. So if those people who are not aware, the Huawei is the leading ICT company. They manufactures the all type of equipments in the data center, and we have multiple product families. Employee strength point of view, we are already having 197K employees globally. We are touching existence in 170 plus countries globally, and the ratio for the R&D employment is 53.4%, which is very huge. You can say the more focus towards the R&D research and development, and we are number 3 in terms of R&D investment point of view. And global Fortune 500, the ranking, the Huawei has achieved number 44. So we are covering the the industries like the consumer based industry, carrier industries, and the customer enterprise industry. And all these industries we are having the product and solutions and covering the industries. The aim is to bring the digital to every person's, every home or every organization with the fully connected environment. So this is our motto of the company, and with this motto we are having all the product families covering requirement of the industry. Okay, here is just a quick look on the the solution perspective. So Huawei in the data center family. So today I will be covering this part, basically the data center point of view. So we are touching the modular data center, which is called micro DC or the modular DC. So our part today's topic is the modular DC part. And however, Huawei already having the more product line in this segment. You can say we have the iBattery, the cooling subsystems, or the power subsystems, or the intelligent powers, and the PDUs and the UPS. All these families are available in this segment. So this is the bottom line of any IT infrastructure. So bottom line, the data center perspective, we have small DC and micro DC as well. So today we'll touch upon the modular DC point of view. Over and above it, the data center equipment. So Huawei is very well known name now in the storage as a OEM. We are having all type of storage. You can say the all flash or hybrid storage. The server side also we have all the families starting for the rack level or the blade level or mission critical level. And from the switch and networking point of view, are also having the networks and the security devices here. After this OEM or the the equipment layer, the solution layer also from Huawei, we are already having the good name or good existence in terms of Huawei Fusion Cloud, Huawei Fusion Access, and Huawei Fusion Insight. So these are our cloud product or the virtualization product, which is already experienced by many customers globally. So in today's topic, we are just moving towards the Fusion module, and these are the key topics what we will be trying to cover. How is the layout? What is the power subsystem, cooling subsystem, the environment monitoring subsystem, the surveillance subsystem, and the typical configuration. And we have the operations also a little part, and the routine maintenance part. So all these parts I will try to cover for today's session. This is something required for the deployment team. They need to prepare some kind of tool while operating this deployment phase. So these are the tools required while the deployment of Fusion module is requirement. Okay, let's quickly run into Fusion module. As I said, that it is an integrated environment where every requirement is integrated in one subsystem. So here you can see the modular data center. That's why we call it modular. Everything is the rack based. Even you can say the cooling subsystem, the air conditioner, they are also rack based. The monitoring subsystem is also rack based. The UPS is also the rack based, and in fact the power distribution unit is also the rack based. And you can have the automatic transfer switch. All this is the rack based. So you can see typically in the data center environment, you have to put up some air conditions on the wall or maybe under the PACs. So all these things is not required anymore. We have this closed modular data center with integrated rack, and this can cover all this requirement. And for cabling point of view also, it is well managed in the cable manager point of view, and the sensor point of view, it has a camera, it has the sensor, so door open, door closer sensor, it has a humidity sensor, temperature sensor, all these sensors are there. And also to operate this device, there is a touch screen integrated with this box, so you can easily operate all the components with the touch screen. With the help of touch screen, you can see the real statistics of this entire modular data center. Where is my hot zone, where is my cold zone, how air condition will behave. We can increase and decrease also the air condition flow. So this is how the entire control is being pressed to the one single touch screen system. And also from the remote monitoring point of view, there is a monitoring subsystem, we call it ECC. So that ECC can do the monitoring for all the components in the data center. So you can see here the battery. So batteries, UPS, cooling, temperature and humidity sensors, water sensors, door open, door closer sensor, and the video. All these components can be monitored by a single device, and this single device can have a software mechanism to look and feel all the components in the pictorial. Like here, if you see, this is a real picture of this data center in a softwareical manner, and you can really monitor it remotely. And also it can give the flexibility to operate from your mobile on the go. So you are not no more required to sit on the NOC center to see the entire monitoring. Entire monitoring can also deliver on your mobile or your touchpad screen. Can be monitor, control, manage all the functions you can do remotely for this data center. Okay, so in detail, if you look into this integrated system, as I mentioned, that everything is part of the integrated rack. So you can see the above, the first portion is called the transfer switch, which can adapt the tier 2 architecture. We can have the two sources power system, and it will automatically transfer the source 1 or source 2, which one is available, and which one is not available, it will switch to the another one. Then we have the distribution unit, the power distribution unit, which is also part of this integrated rack, and we can control all MCBs here, and we can control all the safe circuits. You can see here it is part of the integration. And the UPS also, the redundant manner, all the UPS like UPS 1 and UPS 2 are configured, pre-factory configured, so nothing is on site, so it is like ready move from the factory. The UPS 1 and UPS 2s are there. And then we have the ECC monitoring system. So this is the system which I was talking about in my previous slide. It is responsible for monitoring all the components in the data center, be it your sensor, be it your UPS, be it your cooling system, or be it your door open, door closer sensor. All things can be monitored by this device and can be attached to the mobile integration or the tab integration, or even from the NOC integration. Then we have the air condition controller. So this is called controller for air condition. They can decide the fan speed or the cooling or the hot SI, because there is some sensor deployment happen in this racks. So they can automatically decide whether we need to increase the cooling or decrease the cooling, or they can be a redundant 1+1. So if one down, the another one will switch in a cyclic manner. So one will operate, the another will shut down. Then the second will operate, first one will shut down. So like this, the cyclic manner also they can operate. So these are the component in the integrated rack. The upper portion is the fan to make this rack itself is as a cooling. Then the transfer switch, the PDU mechanism, all are becoming modular. So nothing is like a headache to do the on-site work. It is pre-factory, pre-assembled in the factory itself and delivered to customer. Then the rack-based UPS, the rack-based battery modules, and the rack-based air condition module is all in the rack. The outdoor unit is obviously it has to be put up outside the data center, and these are the assemblies and the rack just to showcase. So you can see here the input 1 and input 2, it will automatically switch over. Whatever the in a design perspective, both inputs should be live and available, and it will can do the judgment. Like if some power is disturbed, it will automatically judge to transfer to the next available circuit. From the sensor point of view, you can see this closed aisle. As I mentioned, that everything is modular, so nothing is to design or architect at the site level. It is pre-factory. Just need to assemble the racks and then do the cabling part from rack 1 to rack 2, and those are also pre uh, you know uh, LLD is given to configure the connect the cabling part and the sensors. So you can see here this as this closed aisle have the multiple sensors, the smoke sensor, the video surveillance system, the door open door closer sensor, or the UPS monitoring system, or the Wi-Fi system, or maybe the water sensor which can sense the if there is any water leakage happening on the floor, the humidity sensor which can decide the temperature level inside the glass window. So you can see here this is very uh, small aisle design here, which will keep the cooling air inside this glass window. So you need it will bring more energy saving to the data center scenario and environment, because your cooling air is very limited and very close to the equipment within this glass window. So it is very convenient. And from the monitoring point of view, as I mentioned, that you have flexibility to operate the entire data center on mobile, on tab, or on your system remotely. So no need to come into data center. Everything is on the remote. You can sense it. Okay, let's go into the power distribution unit, or you can say the power subsystem. So power subsystem has this 5 component. The first part is the selection of input source, maybe the input 1 and input 2. We have to connect from the raw power management, and then the automatic switch will take the input towards the next subsystem, which is the distributed subsystem. So in the distributed subsystem, each rack have the corresponding MCB, or corresponding electrical attachments. So you can control each rack power. It will not it is a safe circuit. It will not disturb the entire data center for failure if something is happened. So each MCB can trip if there is some short circuit happen within the rack. So this is rack level arrangements. And then there is a UPS. The third bigger component is UPS. So for the redundancy maintenance point of view, so all components are becoming a redundant and making the high availability in the data center perspective. So this is just a pictorial view how this arrangement, the electrical arrangement, happened till the IT rack level. So you can see here the two sources are coming from the distribution center. So two sources are coming and they are sitting into electrical room. From the electrical room, we are getting the power sources to our ATS. Then ATS will decide which one need to select. It select the one path and send it to the internal circuit, which is for the battery level. So battery 1 and battery 2, there are two circuits here for redundancy point of view, and the two path for the IT racks. So these are my power bus for rack 1, rack 2, rack 3, like this. So we can have multiple racks. So each rack will fetch the power from this bus. And also for the internal DC base, DC current base equipment, this ACC 800 can also serve for an AC to DC converter. So you can see here, so many device which can operate on the DC power can get the DC power from this ECC. So your all ETS gateway or fans or sensors, they are operating on the DC power supply. Then ECC can give the power sense to it. Even your camera on the DC power. So this is the DC AC DC converter settings, and also the raw power is available for any third-party integration or third-party systems. So this is your raw power system, which can go to outdoor or indoor power subsystems. And within the rack, as I mentioned, that everything is pre-provisioned, so only need to just place the cable as per the design. It is very nicely architect and positioned, like which is my line cable, which is my neutral cable, which is my earthing cable. So all these things is predefined and designed. So need to follow and just do the deployment. It's very quick and easy on the on-site deployment. Okay, from the battery point of view, because battery is also one power subsystem, we are giving the 3-layer protection: power source 1, power source 2, and the UPS itself is in the integrated power module system. Based on the workload, this power module can be decided and designed. Here in this example, it is like two racks, battery rack 1 and battery rack 2, and having 4 units. So each unit, you can say the loop point of view, we have the positive loop and the negative loop coming from the UPS, and it can make the redundancy of the battery. So if in case of my UPS 1 is down or UPS 2 is down, it can do the load sharing across the battery. And easily one battery unit can also be replaced without disturbing the environment. You can just unplug these cables and take out the battery unit. Within the battery, these are the arrangements of the batteries connections. Okay, from the rack perspective, as I mentioned that each rack will have the redundant power source coming from the battery backup point of view. So here you can see all the racks. The rack 1 has the two source. The source, this is source 2, this is source 1 going with rack 1 and rack 1. So you can see the rack 1 will have the two redundant power sources coming from the two UPS, and it is protected with some MCB circuits. So for safety point of view, you have predefined all the MCBs. Like if MCB 1 and 2 down, that means your AC outdoor unit is faulty, or maybe you need to switch off the T2 MCB and then operate the outdoor AC unit, or indoor AC unit. If you are operating it, you can switch off this MCBs and then operate to indoor. So the control point of view, each power circuit is well controlled, well managed. So you can see here all the MCBs are predominated to the circuit, and we can control the circuit without disturbing the data center components. Okay, so this is the operations of ATS, automatic transfer switch. So which will have many inbuilt logics to select the right power source. It can do the rating of rated voltage, which voltage. Sometimes what happens, the raw power which is coming from distributions, maybe it is a fluctuation, maybe going to 400 volt or 200 volt or 100 volt. So the fluctuations are there. So automatic transfer switch even can operate with this fluctuation. It can select the another good path. So it can do all this logics and all this monitoring by itself. There is a manual switchover also in case if something is happened in automatic transfer and you need to select only one path manually. So you can operate this ATS in a manual mode and select the source one manually. So it will operate on the source one, but this operations is only when your team is understanding is good that you are choosing manual mode for only source one. Okay, similarly for the UPS level, because as I mentioned that UPS is also modular UPS, and this UPS is a rack based UPS, and all this configuration is depend upon the design principle of the power backup. So in this scenario, if we are making the 40 batteries, 20 batteries in negative loop or positive loop, so this is just a simple calculation. Based on that, we will set the parameter in the UPS. Like here is a positive battery and the negative battery. We are selecting the parameters 20 mono, and then the battery capacity. So battery capacity also, like here in the ATH, the calculation is very clear here. How much the voltage per battery we are choosing, and this battery totally together in the one battery bank, how much the rating is coming, and then the two path, how much you are calculating as a one path 18 Ah. So you can see here battery capacity, you can choose 18 Ah in this scenario, in this example scenario. So it depends upon scenario to scenario which scenario we are choosing. Based on the scenario, this calculation will change and the parameter will change. So obviously this parameter is very important. If somebody wrongly configured these parameters, your battery may have some impact, or battery backup system will have some impact. So this is very careful. For the initialization point of view, first time when we operate this device, it is coming into the initializing phase, and you need to choose the language and select the base parameter, which I mentioned that battery parameters are mandatory to select. And then once it is selected, then it will show you the input source and the charging status. Here you can see totally 560 volt is coming from the battery point of view, and the 87% is charged. And the workload is, in this scenario, it is showing 00. So once the load is coming, it can show the percentage of the load as well. And when we operate this device, so it will give you all these ratings, like what is my balanced output to the rack level, because in the rack we have the IT equipment, the critical IT equipment, those need a static power. So whatever fluctuations is coming need to be coming in the raw power level. Once it is coming by UPS, it is already filtered power, and you have the safe power for your IT equipments. And the settings also can be protected by some password protection, and this UPS can be protected for misoperation. If first time the expert has been configured these settings, so the next time the operator, he cannot do the misoperation and make the disturbance in the environment. So this is well taken in the principle, the design principle. Now the cooling subsystem, as I mentioned, that it has an indoor and outdoor. So indoor is very much modular, rack-based, design. It can operate to the different levels and ratings. So depending upon the workload, it can increase the fan speed, decrease the fan speed, make the cooling arrangements within the SI, the cooling SI. An outdoor unit also can be monitored by the sensing cable. There is a signal cable going to outdoor unit also. So outdoor unit also we can see whether the fan is operating or not operating, or working or not working. All these things can be monitored in the same monitoring subsystem. So look and feel point of view, you can see here just an example that the cold SIL is a glass window. These are the cold SIL, this portion. So all your cooling air is within this glass level. So you can see here all the IT racks, the cooling air is closed loop. This blue color shows that the closed loop for the cooling air, and all your the cooling air is coming out from the integrated system, integrated rack. So those has a AC indoor system. Those are blowing the cooling air inside this cold SI, and then all the IT equipment, they are taking this cold air and making the hot air pass to the outside. So this is the backside of data center, you can see, and all your hot air is closed and hot air is open to in the environment. So this way we can have the more efficiency towards the cooling subsystem. And this is the arrangement how this design is well taken. As I mentioned that the third number cable, you can see here the operations are going to outdoor unit, and this blue color cable is reading the values for the outdoor unit as well and the indoor unit as well. So your controller, this is called air condition controller. It has a sensor. It has the automatic adjustment to control this cooling subsystem and make the cold or hot adjustments, and it can increase decrease the power for your data center. So it is automated, and we can do the teaming also. Like we have the as I mentioned that 2 AC, 3 AC, we can team them together and make the choose that one will operate at a time, another will shut down at that time to save the power costing and the operational costing. Okay, so the next part is the temperature and humidity sensors. So these sensors are especially designed in the controlling the entire inside of the data center and outside of the data center. So you can see some sensors are placed outside and some sensors are placed inside. So the basic purpose of these sensors are they are capturing the humidity and temperature readings in the data center. So you can see in this example, if I have the 5 rack arrangement, so I can put the sensors on each rack. Each rack I'm putting one sensor, and air condition 1 and air condition 2. You can say they are having the connection. So you can see here the line AC2, which has a line. It has its dedicated monitoring controller. So you can see address 111 is related to AC2, and this address 112 is also related to AC2, and this plain white, these 3 sensors are related to AC1. So we have the balance you can say the sensors, and to choose the chain means if you are looping them in a one path, so we need to set the address. So here if I choose the 11 means I'm choosing the first 2 bit on, and this is the arrangement for choosing the 11 address, 12 address. So this way we can toggle the switch. So this is a toggle switching, and we can select the toggle and then make the loop. As I mentioned that for AC1 loop and AC2 loop, 2 loops you can create. So here is the loop. It's like for EG connection point of view, it is already controlled as a RJ45, and for device to device it is RJ11. So easy to understand which cable need to place where, and easy to operate. So you can see here that the two sensor, one is line sensor, one is blank sensor. So you can see here we can have the two path and two loop, and the deep switch and toggle switch can be set accordingly as per our design. So you can see here in this entire arrangement, two sensors are outside the data center. So to manage the environment of the whole data center room. Okay, so this is the settings for making the team arrangement. As I mentioned that multiple units can be jointly together and work together as a one team. So you can see total number of units is like 3 and 2 operating. One is shut down. So you can see 2 plus 1 is configured here, and we can do the enable of rotation. Maybe these 3 will operate one by one. So the first time like 1, 2, 3, the third one was shut down. In the next cycle, first one will shut down, 2 and 3 will operate. In the next cycle, 1 and 3 will operate, second will shut down, like this. So this is the arrangement of teaming. This can be configured on the management window, and we can make it operational. So now I'm moving to the monitoring subsystem. So this monitoring subsystem is called ECC, and this ECC, you can see the various inputs are there, and all your sensors are talking to this device. There we have the multiple layer of connections. We can say the device input output ports, or we can say the Ethernet ports for making the SNMP integration. Even this device can integrate further for monitoring, upper layer monitoring in the NOC center. Maybe somebody has like in the NOC area they have their own tool. So ECC can further be integrated on SNMP with the monitoring system, or operator can directly log into ECC web portal and see all this device monitoring. And this is a front view, this is a back view, and it is having an integrated Wi-Fi channel as well. So the Wi-Fi can also be easy to operate, and within this system can have a provision for SIM and the SD card as well to make more convenient of this device for operations point of view. Okay, so this is the integrated architecture, how the signaling, how the signal you can say the management signal is working within this system. So you can say this ECC 800, they are having the input connections. So you can say your ATS, the dotted line, you can see here the dotted line is connected here, and this air conditions, all this second air condition, all these connected are on the dotted line, UPS 1, UPS 2. So you can see here all the inputs I'm getting on the ECC via this dotted line. Similarly, for this the dark blue line, I'm connecting the hub, or you can the switch, and this switch can do the AIDI connections on the environment and make the further sensor connectivity. Like this is my door open, door closure sensor. This is a door status sensor. This sensor can also give the reading whether the door is open or door is closed. So this can be easily watched by this ETH controller, and ETH controller further giving the input to ECC. So you can say here all my sensors, all my device, all my equipments within the data center layer, the data center facility layer, all are integrated with this ECC system, and I'm getting all the signals, all the monitoring status directly from the ECC, and I can read the entire health status of my data center. So a very quick question here, if I need to operate the data center for the sensor level, for the UPS level, for the cooling level, for the power subsystem level, I can easily log into ECC console and I can see and watch. In fact, I can watch all the parameters. Okay. Okay, so this is a water sensors system. It is also part of the integrated environment, the modular data center. So all these sensors can be laid down on the bottom line of data center, and it can sense the water leakage. If there is any water leakage from the air conditions condensing pipe, or because air condition has a waste pipe also where the water will be cleaned up, and if there is some leakage, it can detect the water and inform the operator. Okay, let's move to the next subsystem, which is called monitoring. As I mentioned that this entire solution has a camera also for monitoring, for the live monitoring. So it can give you the pictures also, like who opened the door and when he opened the door and what time he entered the data center. So all these triggers, all these systems are there in the VCN 500, and this has an integrated storage as well. This is an optional component. Some customer take it, some customer don't take it, but as a part of UPS modular DC, this is part of this unit, and it can do all this understanding and make the alarm. There is any fire trigger, so this intelligent camera can also alarm those monitoring alarms as well. We can have the displays also for this entire surveillance system point of view. We can put 4 cameras or 5 cameras as per the design, and then we can record all those recordings and when the surveillance knock, where we can do the live surveillance as well. So these are some typical configuration for this IVA subsystem, and based on the design aspect, we can configure certain policies, and the backup of video, how many days it need to record the videos, and how many cameras are there. It can be place the positions of those cameras, and live streaming can happen on these camera recordings. Okay, now I'm moving to the configuration part. After the deployment, the first aspect is the configuring the systems. So the first is like we need to design the home screen in the ECC platform, and we need to set some alarms based on our requirement, and we can do the query for the historical alarms, and these are also settings for making the export data and make the purging policy for the data, and setting of alarms for doing the further integration. Like NetEco is our bigger monitoring system, so this ECC can also do the NetEco level monitoring, and also some SNMP or internal alarm notifications. It can do the email notification as well. And if we have large number of data center deployed, like similar modular data center, if I just take an example, one customer has 100 branches, so each branch has this data center deployment, so all 100 can be monitored together within one system. So this is also available. And the maintenance point of view, there are some version controls for the each software component, and there is a configuration file component which can back up your configuration in one time, and you can keep your data center healthy. So and there is an application, as I mentioned, the mobile application, that also version specific. You can download the specific version and make the video view of your data center. So now I'm coming to the web configuration. For example, this is my web configuration of ECC system. If I'm first time logging in, so this is kind of a ECC 800 one screen coming up, and in that screen, after logging in, I'm first time doing the my arrangements. So this is the rack arrangement. I can add racks as per my need. Whatever the solution is designed, then those racks can be placed, and I can put the integrated rack at the center and make this arrangement like how I can monitor the systems. So these are my basic hardening. What is my time zone configured? What is the local day and time settings are there, and the IP addresses settings for the network integration. And then we have some components, how they are connected with the network, and SNMP settings, and further URLs of the video surveillance system. So your video surveillance system can also be monitored as a hardware point of view, can be monitored from this same system. And then you can have the multiple user level. One can be the admin for the entire data center who can change the parameter, and one is just an operator. So operator is just a read-only mechanism. He can just read the monitoring. He cannot do any changes in the system. And then you can have the further configurations within the system. After all this system is live, you can see your data center is available on your the pad or mobile phone. So you can access the same IP addresses and then do it operate. So here is an example. This is a mobile screen. You can see the rack level and then see the alarm, that there is an alarm on this cabinet, and this can be look like here in the pad, in the touch screen, which is given along with the system. So in this touchpad, you can easily locate the alarm. Where is the alarm and how many critical, major, minor alarms are there. So very convenient to operate, and design point of view, I can see the pictorial view of all the subsystem. Like here in this example, it's a cooling subsystem, and it can show you the fan speed, fan alarm, or other the different status, whether on or off. All this status it can capture lively and show you. And you can also do the historical performance data analysis, in which day the maximum power consumption happened, which day who visited the data center, on which day which device has alarm on the data center perspective. So further settings are the configuration level. As I mentioned, that this integration device can send the alarm on email. It's a very basic setting, but very convenient to get an alarm on email. So you can configure the management people who are responsible for data center. They can get easily email alarm in their email box, and they can also interact with their operations team. Similarly, for the SMS level, if we are having the SIM provision, so the alarm can also be delivered on SMS delivery. And there is a SNMP settings which can further integrate it with your another monitoring system, where all the data center can be talking to one central platform. So this can also be done in the example of, like, I have 5 data center or 10 data center. I'm monitoring all them together in one layer. So all this can be happen. It can also do data purging and data monitoring. So we can see the historical alarm is here. We can set the bucket size, how many logs it can proceed to capture in the historical alarm, how many days it can purge. All this information we can configure in the file. And then this configuration file also is a critical file. You can keep it as a backup of your entire configuration, because no need to reconfigure all the components. If somebody disturb it, then maybe the reports will be wrong, or something is disturbed. So you can quickly reconfigure your entire device by importing the configuration file to ECC, and ECC will start operating on it. Okay, here is one important setting as well, because many people, when they are operating this critical and complex, because why I said the complex, because we are talking about one system, talking to your sensors, talking to your cooling system, talking to your power subsystem, talking to your environment subsystems. So all these complications are there. Sometimes people are wrongly configured, and because of wrong configuration, some reports are not correct fetched by the system. So there is an option you can factory configure, and then reconfigure your device as per your need. Alarm settings also, you can set threshold limits. When is your 80% as per your management decision, 30%, 40%, what is the level of alarm you can set. All these alarms are there. Now I'm going to troubleshooting point of view. As I mentioned, that the troubleshooting is very convenient, because we have the tablet PC, the touchscreen PC, which can allow to control the entire data center. So it's a complex machine, can control by one single touch screen. So this is the method how you interact with the whole data center. So you can see here, if there is a power subsystem have some alarm, you can follow the signals, follow the alarm level, follow the type of alarm, and then co-locate the fault situation, and then do it. Okay, then there is a cabinet level troubleshooting. Also, you can see the cabinet status. As I mentioned, that cabinet is a passive part of it, but there is a sensors on it. So there is an active attachment for all those sensors. We can do all this analysis in a pictorial view and do the fault location. Okay, now the next module is the routine maintenance. As I mentioned, that this is a complex machine and responsible for your IT environment running without impact, or without disturbing to your data center environment. So routine maintenance is one way of doing the proactive measures for doing it, because as I mentioned, that this entire unit has a battery which need a maintenance cyclical. This system also have a cooling system which also need a cyclic maintenance or proactive maintenance. So there is a cycle defined for each layer of monitoring. We can do the cyclic arrangement, which component annually, monthly, quarterly, or weekly we have to revisit in terms of physical or in terms of alarm point of view, and do the health status check. So this is a monthly maintenance cycle. We can say the monthly maintenance cycle. We have to check the sensors performance. We have to check the LCD working, and then check the power supply indicators or the surge protection. So all these are classified as a monthly cyclic monitoring. Then we have a quarterly cyclic monitoring as well. We can have the operating environment as a quarterly health check. and the LCD, the cleaning glass for the outdoor unit or indoor unit, so we can do the cleaning cycle, and the parameter configuration. This also we can revisit whether any parameter is wrongly configured or working rightly as per the need of business, and do that. There is an annual cycle also, in which the annually what are the components we can cover up for the check. So follow this checklist is will ensure in terms of manually, annually, quarterly, half yearly, or even weekly, we can ensure that all the components are running healthy in terms of data center facility point of view, because this data center facility is the whole responsible for running your IT up and running in your data center. So with this knowledge sharing, I'm done for the today's topic. I think the next part is Elena, you take up.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, so Elena, from here you can take up. I have covered my point. So there is a open some ECC level HOL is there. We can you can find the some videos or tutorials for the hands-on lab for ECC, how to set the monitoring parameters, and all those things can be available, made official available.
Okay, thank
This is
you. Yes, this is just a quick introduction of the Huawei Enterprise Support community. I know that some of you already know about this community and are members of it, but maybe we have some new participants today who are not familiar with the community. Um, just so you know, this is the official technical community for all Huawei Enterprise products, solutions, and certifications. We have over 200,000 members so far. We have an extensive knowledge base that you can use to learn from, or that you can use to solve technical issues during your day-to-day work. Our average solving time for technical issues is under 24 hours. This means that if you post a technical issue, you receive a solution in under 24 hours, and you receive a reply in under 2 hours. So just so you know, we offer free technical support, and you will receive solutions from the best Huawei engineers, experts, and our moderators always check all the posts that are created in our community. So I can guarantee that you receive a solution very, very fast. We also have a public recognition and reward system for all the members of this community. We have the Elite Users Program, which identifies and promotes the most outstanding members of this community. We have different programs, including becoming a webinar host or a HCIE expert, MVE, which stands for the most valued engineer, author, if you are interested in sharing technical content, and also you can become an external moderator in our community. We offer high coins, which are the internal currency of this community, that you can use in exchange for the rewards we have in our online shop, and different rewards for all the activities we have, such as this webinar, which also offers 10 gift cards. Last but not least, we have monthly activities. Some of them are more technical oriented, others are more prone towards interactive, having fun in this community, because aside from the learning part and the technical support part, we also want to make our community a place where you can interact with others, and why not enjoy and have some fun. In the past months, we've had more than one webinar per month, sometimes two, sometimes three webinars per month. So if you are interested in learning, this is definitely the place to be. If you don't have an account already, I highly recommend you to register now, because you can only participate in our activities if you are a registered member of this community. Now we can move to the next slide, please. Hi, Kasim, can you please move to the next slide? Thank you. Like I was saying, we have prepared a special activity for this webinar. We will present you 3 questions at the end of this session. And we are offering 10 Amazon gift cards. 5 of them will be offered to those of you who are going to the forum Q&A and answer the 3 questions correctly. And 5 of them will be given to those of you who are attending this live session. It's also important to mention that unfortunately we cannot offer any rewards to Huawei employees. So this activity is only for the external members of this community, not Huawei employees. If you are an external user of this community, I now invite you to send me your username and nickname in the community through a private message in the chat box. You can easily find your nickname by going to your profile in the community and your username as well. You will see username in your profile. So please send me your username or nickname or both just to make sure in the group chat, but you just send it to me privately. You don't have to send it to everyone. You can select who you want to send the message to. And please make sure that your nickname is valid in the Huawei Enterprise Support community. This is very important. It needs to be your username or nickname in the Huawei Enterprise Support community. If you are not registered yet, you still have time to do it. Thank you. I've started receiving your usernames and nicknames. After the live session, I will check all your usernames and nicknames. So please make sure they are correct. Otherwise, I will not be able to find you in the community. So as I was saying, 5 winners will be selected after this live session. Thank you for attending the live webinar. And 5 more after the live session, but it's important to answer the 3 questions correctly. Okay, please continue sending your, just make sure that you are sending me your username or nickname in the Huawei Enterprise Support community, not your email address. Okay, this is how I will be able to identify you in the community. And I started receiving messages. Thank you all. At the end of this live session, we will present you 3 more questions, the ones I mentioned before. Please pay attention to the questions, and also you will find them in the community. I will send you again the link where you can go and answer these questions in the comment section. So please, when you see the questions, don't answer here. You need to go here where I sent you this link. You need to go here and reply the questions in the comment section, okay? So Kasim, can you present the 3 questions? Okay, this is the first question. This is a true or false type of question, so please check it. Yeah, please don't send me the answers here. Like I said, you need to go here in the community and reply the question. So please be patient. Now we are just presenting the questions, but if you want to answer them, click here on this link I've sent in the chat box, and you need to leave a comment under this post, and you can simply type in question 1 and the correct answer, question 2 correct answer, question 3 correct answer, and so on. Okay, let's present the second question. Thank you, but like I said, please don't answer here. Go and answer in the forum, under the forum post. The answers you send me here will not be taken into account for the rewards. Question number 2, this is a single choice question, so we only have 1 correct answer. Okay. This is just an overview. I'll also update the forum post to add the questions there, so don't worry. You will also find them in the forum. We are just presenting them here because we think it's fair for the ones who are attending the live webinar to be the first to see the questions and have a chance to answer them. Okay, and the third question, please. Let's see it. This is a multi-choice type of question. This means that you have more than one correct answer, so please carefully select the correct answers to this question. Okay, so I think it's quite easy for those of you who've attended this webinar to reply the 3 questions. I invite you all to participate in the Q&A session in the forum. And before we end the live session today, I would just like to make some announcements. The first important announcement is that this year we'll have a special annual user gala. This means that we will be rewarding the most outstanding members of the community, but we have many rewards and also many surprises for you. The gala will take place on December 20, and I invite all of you, if you are able to attend it. I hope that you'll be able to attend it. I promise you we'll have many surprises, and I think it's going to be a great time to meet each other and celebrate this year, which is almost over. And the second, I wouldn't call it an announcement, but I think it's an important information. We have prepared a collection of all the activities we have this month. The reason for this is that we want to make it easier for you to see all the activities we have during 1 month, so that you are able to attend the ones you are interested in. We will add links there for those of you who want to check out these activities. I will also send you the link here, just so you know. Every time there's a new activity, we will add it in this post. If you have any feedback for us, please feel free to share it. We want to make it easier for you to find the activities, the webinars, and so on. I will also be uploading the video in the community, in the same post where you can go and answer these 3 questions. And you will also be able to find it on our official YouTube channel. If you want, I will send you the link. We are really trying to make all the information available to you. And if you need any type of webinar, if you are interested in any particular topics, please feel free to share your feedback. You can send me a private message, or you can add a post in this community. And every time we see your feedback, we will try to take it into account and make it happen. So if you want to learn more about a certain topic, please share your feedback anytime you want. So this was the announcement I wanted to make. I really hope that I will see you in the annual user gala on December 20. We will have many rewards, prizes, and we will be celebrating our most active members. If you are new to this community, if you are not familiar with it yet, I kindly invite you to check it out, and maybe next year you'll become an elite user as well. Thank you, Kasim, for another amazing webinar. Thank you all for attending this live webinar, and I hope to see you in the next ones as well. As I said, if you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to contact me or any of my colleagues who are admins in this community. We take your feedback very seriously, and we try to improve our community all the time to make your experience better and better. So thank you, and have a nice morning, afternoon, or evening, depending when you are from. I will share the recording of this video. I will send you the link again, just so you know. Every time we have a webinar, we upload the webinar video in the post link. So I will upload the video here probably by tomorrow. You'll find the video here, okay? I will also send it to you in private, the link, so that you know where you should go to find the video. Okay, this was it for today. Thank you all again, and see you in the next webinars, and see you in the community. Thank you, Kasim, again, and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you all.